The great news is that my children and your children will never get into the housing market because it's too expensive. They have no chance, and that's awesome, right? What kind of horrible person would say such a thing? Well, an honest, horrible person. All this talk about housing affordability is simply hypocritical, and most people are too polite to say it out loud, so I guess I will. I love high real estate prices. I want them to go even higher, and I don't care about the kids. Now, before you're too quick to disagree, let's twist the lens and see why the soaring price of homes is the only hope for most Canadians. Big city real estate prices have been described as a yo-yo on an escalator, always up in the long term. Safe, reliable, and predictable, I can easily guess the value of today's real estate even 20 or 30 years away. So here's the big idea. When a person buys their first home, a single-family house, a condo, or a townhome, that is the only day, the only moment in time they hope the price is low. Every day and every year after, homeowners tell themselves and their friends about the increase in value with a quiet confidence. And here's why. Almost 78% of all new jobs in North America are created by small business with less than 10 employees. Now, in most cases, these jobs offer flexibility and lifestyle benefits, but no pension plan, or at least not enough to sustain a person in retirement from age 65 to the time of death. The average Canadian wage is $65,000 a year, with savings of only $2,000 to $5,000 annually. Most families have modest RRSPs and no additional income beyond Social Security or old age pension. On average, those pensions total about $1,500 a month, period. Absolutely not enough to sustain even the most modest existence. The only hope is real estate. So let's do the math. Number one, on average, most homes appreciate about 7% per year. Now, following the rule of 70, the value doubles every 10 years. So you buy a home for $400, 10 years later it's $800, 10 years later it's $1.6, that sort of thing. Number two, in Canada, there is a full tax exemption of your principal residence. That means zero tax owing when you sell your big house, downsize to a condo, and cash out the rest. Number three, most couples need about $6,000 a month to live a comfortable retirement. Now, assuming being retired at age 65 to say 85, that's 20 years or 240 months at $6,000 a month. That's $1.4 million in liquid cash or equity. I bought my first house in 1986 for $65,000. About 40 years later, it's worth around $1 million. Now, if I still lived there, that home would have essentially paid for my retirement. Conversely, if the market had not appreciated or artificial government interventions aimed at affordability had suppressed those values, would I be very happy? The short answer is no. So here is the uncomfortable truth. Most of us who currently own a home care more about leveraging our real estate for a comfortable retirement than we care about someone else getting a great deal on their first home, despite what we might say at a cocktail party. Being honest about the high cost of housing is not easy, and while I don't expect everyone listening to agree, I'm still waiting to hear a better alternative. Now, for those who follow this series, you know I'm not political in any way. Regardless of who's been elected to represent us, I do not support programs that interfere with property rights or programs that focus on foreign buyers or exaggerated taxes for one reason or another. I believe in the free markets, the laws of supply and demand, and will accept the consequences of those ebbs and flows up or down. And an important sidebar. Let's also not confuse my message today with the need for low-cost housing alternatives, below-market rental housing, and other social programs. In fact, I'm an outspoken advocate for all of those things. I absolutely support building homes for those who need them most, and never want that inventory to be subject to market prices. Now, some people will say those programs are too expensive. I will say they're cheap compared to the true cost of homelessness, addiction, and other mental health issues. As a caring society, we are going to pay to house and support our most vulnerable one way or another. Why not do it with dignity? I look forward to any and all your comments, and if you have an idea for a Twisted Lens episode, please let me know.